All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD 1000 Web Development Technologies class, I've been going over from Mozilla.org. I've been going over their Learn Web Development, getting started. I'm on the Getting Started with the Web, and I'm down to HTML Basics. All right, so far I've gone through installing basic software, what your website will look like, dealing with files, and the first part of HTML Basics. So I'm going to continue on with that in just a bit. After that, we're going to go into some CSS basics, some JavaScript basics, publishing your website, and into how the web works. Okay, so we're going to hit on all of that stuff. So in the HTML basics, I've gone through, like I said, about the first half or so of this, and I'm up to the marking up text. All right. Now, you may or may not have noticed that on the main page, or on any page of our site, I've got in here what's called an H1 tag. In H1, there are actually 6 tags that you can use in here. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put in all of them. So I'm going to put in here H1, and I'm going to put in, this is an H1 tag. Okay? And I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put it in and change all of these to 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, and finally 6, 6, 6. I'm still on my home page here. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back to the run that I had for my program, the I Love Mo, and you're going to notice it's going to look different in here now. There you go. So notice that as the tag number gets bigger, the size of the text for the tag gets smaller. Now, I put this in here for demonstration purposes only, and these are the default sizes that you're going to have for a tag based on the type of browser that you're using and what its defaults are. Typically, you only have one H1 tag on a page. Notice I've got 2 of them, but again, this was just to show you the differences in sizes, etc. Now, it's probably going to be very rare that you'll have more than one H1 tag on a page. It's also probably very rare that you'll go smaller than an H3 or maybe an H4 tag. I don't think I've ever written a site that's used an H5 or an H6. And that's as far as it goes. So there are 6 tags, H1, which is the biggest, down through H6, which is the smallest. All right. And you can change the default sizes, etc. with these tags, and we'll talk about that probably already in the next lesson. Now, I should show you this too. What if I want to leave this here, but I just don't want it to show? In other words, for lack of better words, I'd like to comment this out. The way that I can comment this out is I can start with an less than sign, a hyphen, and 2 minus signs, and you'll notice how everything turned green. And if where I want to stop it, I do a minus, minus, and a greater than sign. Now I've just commented that out. So you'll notice if I save this, which is a Control S on my browse in my Visual Studio Code, and I come back now, and in here, these are all going to be gone in just a second. See that? Now, this isn't a gee whiz type of thing. I'm just showing this to you. All right. Okay. So those were the headings. Paragraphs we've talked about a little bit already. They go inside of P tags. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a very, very, very little prelude of what we're going to be talking about in the next lesson when we start to go into CSS. And that is, I'm going to come back into here and I'll grab my first paragraph. I guess there's only one in here. All right. And let's just pretend for a second. I want that to be blue. All right. I'm going to put in here class equals, and I'm going to just call it blue text. Now, when I do that, nothing magical is going to happen. But when I come back in now into my styles.css and I say, hey, if I've got a class, which I denote with a period, that's called blue text, I'm going to say that what I want is I want the color of that text to be blue. All right. So what did that do? Well, it's, again, easier to show you. So here's our text, right? And I'm going to refresh the screen, and you'll see that it turned blue. Now, that's really ugly on the red background. I get that. But I wanted to show you that because what I just did was I added an attribute to the paragraph tag. The attribute I added was the class attribute. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the next series of lectures that are coming up. All right, lists. Have we talked about lists yet? Yes, we have. We used an unordered list. An unordered list, think about it this way. This is the way it was explained to me, and I thought it made sense. Let's assume that, in fact, I'm going to bring it up. Recipe for chocolate chip cookies. Okay? So I'm going to give classic chocolate chip cookie recipe. I'm going to bring that up. So here are the ingredients. Oops. Yeah, sure. They are 1 cup of butter, 3/4 of a cup sugar, etc. You get the idea. All right. But if I asked you these ingredients, it wouldn't matter the order in which you gave them to me. At least I don't think it would. All right. It wouldn't matter if I said, first grab some butter, then grab some sugar, then grab some brown sugar, etc. Or if I said, first grab some nuts, then grab some Hershey's chocolate chips, etc. As long as I listed everything, the order wouldn't matter. So I'm going to grab this. Okay. And what I'm going to do for now, at least, is I'm going to come into where I was. I'm going to get rid of this blue text. I don't want that anymore, okay? But I am going to come back into my index, and where I've got class equal blue text, I'm going to remove that, okay? Now, I'm going to come in here, and before I've got my picture, I'm going to paste in what I just grabbed, which was this stuff. Now, that looks pretty ugly. So I'm going to fix it up a little bit. So I'm going to say I want an unordered list, and I want to put a bunch of list items in there. Okay, and I don't know how many there are here, but I'm going to guess there's about 10. All right, so I'm going to grab all this, starting from here. 1 cup of butter. And I'm just putting it up. You don't have to do this. So 2 sticks, 1 cup of butter, 2 sticks, soft. I guess that's all together. All right, 3/4 cups granulated sugar. Okay, 3/4 of a cup packed light brown sugar. And I could actually leave these on separate lines. It wouldn't hurt anything, just so you know. It's going to appear the same way. I'm just doing this so it's easier for you to read. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Check my time here. I'm doing fine. 2 eggs. Two and a quarter cups of, in fact, let's make this easier, of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of Hershey's, whatever, 1 cup of chopped nuts, which are optional, but that's fine. I'll put it all in there. So, So I now have my unordered list. Okay, nothing big, but I'm going to save this and go back. And you're going to notice in here now, this is going to look different before my picture. Plus, this won't be blue anymore. So let's just look. So there it is. There's my recipe. There's my ingredients. All right. And again, by default, it gives us what's called the disc here, which is a circle. All right. You can change this. You can put nothing there. Or you can put a square there that is colored in, or a circle that's not colored in, or you can even put your own. You can even go in and put your own image in there. If I had a star, for example, I could put that in. Now, when we get over to here, I think you'd agree, these steps do matter. So I want to make sure I heat the oven first, then I beat all this stuff, then I bake. If I said bake 8 to 10 minutes until lightly browned, and then beat the butter, and then if I reverse the order, it wouldn't make any sense. So here, the order does matter. So why am I telling you that? Because I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create another list, but this will be an ordered list. Again, with list items in here. So there's my first one. Here will be my second one. Whoops. And after I get done with that, I will put in the third one because luckily, there's only 3 steps in here. So I'm going to grab all this. While I'm at it, I'll grab this, but I won't save that yet. Now that's going to look pretty ugly, but it still is okay. All right. And then finally this last step. Copy that. All right, now I'm going to save this and I'm going to refresh my browser window. There it is. You don't see it. Now you do. And notice with an ordered list, it's numbered. You can change the numbering that's in here. So instead of regular numerals as we see, you can use letters, either uppercase or letters, A, B, C, in either capital or lowercase. You can use Roman numerals, so I, V, etc., upper or lowercase. You can use numbers. You can even combine these. So you can put an unordered list in an ordered list, or vice versa, or an unordered list within an unordered list, an ordered list within an ordered list, etc. But this was just the idea, was to show you this stuff that's in here. So again, I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to take this, and for now at least, I'm going to come back into here. I don't know what I did there. There we go, it looks a little better. And I'm going to just come in and comment this out. All right, because we really don't need it right now. All right, and when I come back again, and I'm okay for time, and I refresh, that is now gone. Okay, it's still on the page, but not on the web page. In other words, it's still in my file, but I've commented it out so it doesn't show on the web page anymore. All right, let's keep on. Links are hyperlinks. All right, and since we're just about done here, let's finish up with this. And let's look at a couple different things regarding links. All right, I happen to work for Rankin Technical College. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, what you should not do is something like this. So I'm going to show you first what you shouldn't do. Oops. You shouldn't come in and say something like, oh my goodness. Again, what I'm showing you is really what you shouldn't do. You shouldn't say something like, click here to go to the Rankin Technical College homepage. Now, if I left it just like that, of course that would be wrong because clicking here won't do anything, but just to show you. So click here, but I click there, nothing happens. So if I want to go there, I put in here what's called an A tag for anchor, and I say, hey, I'm going to put in a hypertext reference, and I want you to go to https://rankin.edu. All right. And I'm going to put the word here right there. Now let's see what's changed. And then we'll talk about why this, the way I just showed it to you, is not really the quote right way of doing it. So I'm going to refresh, and notice I get the hyperlink now. And when I click here, is it going to go to Rankin? There it is. It's gone to Rankin's page. Well, that's good, but yet it's not. First of all, you don't want to say something like click here. You want to let the person know where they're going to when they click. Now, I can't take my mouse and put it over this, and it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, for you to see. But in the very bottom of my page, I've got my mouse playing around down here. It actually does say https://rankin.edu. Now, what would have been better would have been to take this, what we've got right here. Okay. I'm just going to take all of it, and I'm going to remove it. And instead of having it say here, I'm going to have this just say, go to the Rankin Technical College homepage. All right. And I'm going to take here to get more info regarding Rankin Technical College. Now, if I save this, go back, and it just says, go to the Rankin Technical College homepage to get more info regarding Rankin. Well, I mean, nothing is hyperlinked right now. So let's go back in and hyperlink it. I'm gonna have all of this, Rankin Technical College homepage, which is a little extreme, but I'm going to put that, and then inside of my A tag there, X, and I'm going to say here, Rankin Technical College homepage. Now I'm going to put this back. So now look at what's changed here. See that? Rankin Technical. So in other words, somebody can look at this and know where they're going. They can know where they're going when they click the link. You always should do that. You should never have like a click here type of thing. All right. Now, another thing you may or may not have noticed, but when I click here, it went to a brand new page, but it did it in my window. I don't want people to think that my site, that Rankin Technical College homepage is part of my site, because it's not. So what I really should be doing here is when I do this, I'm going to add in here target equals underscore blank. Okay, now what did that do? Well, cosmetically, not a darn thing. It still looks the same. But if you notice right here, there's my I Love Mo page. Next to it is this display date, something we're going to use in a couple minutes. All right, but on the I Love Mo page, now if I click, now it opened up Rankin, and I can go back and forth between the pages. It opened up Rankin Technical College in a new window. That's the target equal underscore blank. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen in there. All right. So I'm butting up right against my 20-minute limit. So I believe we have finished this up. So that's the conclusion. And next we're going to jump into, so we've done installing basic software. What will your website look like? Dealing with files, HTML basics. So next we're going to jump into CSS basics. See you then.